League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here. Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Bang!
To throw on second is Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Alexander. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down, here's Watson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
But no Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why he keeps the legs churning.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They go play action here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 15. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. In for the score. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now out comes Houston. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 41 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air? Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll go on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. On the right side, this is Miller. And he gets it down to the 32. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the...
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Grant. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. On play action, they'll throw. This will be caught at about the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Colts are in for 6.
Well, he decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson, a quick throw, but incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Caught left side, Hopkins. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here's Watson. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Ooh, the juke. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Steps away to his left. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. This is caught, and all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And another timeout taken by the Colts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Watson got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And this one through the uprights and good. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going for the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That's caught by Howard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Watson on first down. He's going to air one out. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And the lead is down to a field goal now. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we've reached... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be second down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 31 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And he knocks it through. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Anthony Walker coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Watson looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Colts getting ready to go. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Right back to him on 1st down. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
They go play action here on 1st down. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Watson now to throw. Going deep for Hop. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup and even 50 yards. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Texans on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Faking the give. Now Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Michael Gallup, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
They're going to keep it on the ground. But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The catch made by Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. They'll throw. Steps away. That's complete right around the 8. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Colts add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
They'll try and run with their fullback. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good pickup there at 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Darryl Worley. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.